Hi, I'm Matt with Let's Talk Music. This interview contains sensitive material. In this interview, Andreas of the band Dymbur and I discuss a worldwide atrocity, rape and child abuse. It's particularly bad in his country of India, and the song's rape culture and child abuse is their way of getting the message out. No person, especially a child, should have to go through this. So please help me spread the band's message by sharing their video in this interview. And thanks for watching.
Every 16 minutes,
a woman is raped in India.
Every 30 hours,
a woman is raped and murdered in India.
every fourth victim
Is a minor.
and these figures are just
the tip of the iceberg.
Hey, this is Matt with Let's Talk Music. I'm here with Andreas of Dymbur.
Dymbur, yeah.
Okay. And Andreas today is joining us all the way from Shillong, India.
Yep.
So
This is
we got a 9.5 hour
the
difference there. We're talking 8:30 your time, right?
Yep. 8:34 to be precise, yeah.
Nice. So first off, just want to touch on how you guys got started. You formed in 2012, and something interesting that I learned is that you guys have a battle of the bands, and that's how you kind of got out there.
To be very precise, actually, Matt, I joined the band just about a year and a half ago. The original members of the band are Cornelius and Mason. They're still there in the band. And of course, they started off with, competing. They started off a gent band, metal gent band, which was the genre they had been, following for the last 10 years or so. During that time, I was working in a radio station, and so this name Dymbur would very frequently come across my table, as an upcoming metal band from our little city. And apparently, it so happened that there was a time when Cornelius and Mason had popped up at the office and wanted help, with promotions of the upcoming album and single and all that. And as I come from a metal background myself, I used to be with a metal band called Project Blend Limited. I was there with the band for about 13 years. And being the eldest in the band, I'm way elder to both Cornelius and Mason. So I kind of guided them through, stuffs like marketing, publicity, things like that. And then eventually a talk happened that, Andreas, why don't you become the manager of the band? And well, that was how the journey started. I was supposed to just manage the band initially, but then when the shift in genre happened, that was when I decided to. We had a talk with the bandmates, and that was when we decided to have me as an active member as well.
Nice. So let's talk about the new single, Child Abuse.
Yep.
Great song. It touches on a very touchy subject that is,
Yep.
All over the world, but taking that it's kind of bad there because you guys, highlighted it as a song.
Yeah.
So give me a little background on the song.
Okay, so like I said, we initially started off. The band was a progressive gent metal band, and then when the lockdowns happened, when the pandemic hit us in India, that was when the band shifted direction towards folk music, towards folk metal. That was when we joined in. So when I joined in the band, then we kind of sat down and decided, to since we've shifted the genre already, we decided to also shift our songwriting and shift our focus onto more serious issues, which being in a developing country, we have a lot of issues to talk about. Our first single was named Rape Culture.
Yes.
You can check it out. It's there on YouTube as well, on our channel. So Rape Culture talks about the rape crisis in the country, also in our own very state. And so then after Rape Culture was done, it was just a step to follow through with child abuse, because rape and child abuse goes hand in hand. almost every fourth victim of rape in India is a minor. So child abuse automatically was the next song we had to sit down and write. And the situation here is such that, Matt, people in India, people here in my even in my very own state, have become very immune to these kind of issues, because we read it in the papers every day, we see it in the news almost every day. Um, just to be, just to prove my point, just 4 days ago, a father slaughtered two of his own kids here in my very own town.
Oh wow.
He killed a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, two sons. The guy must probably have been on drugs or something. We're not very sure yet. Of course, he's been I mean, he's been caught. But the point is, these things happen at such a regularity that it really doesn't bother much of us anymore. So our whole intention is to raise awareness on these issues. We're not pointing fingers, Matt. We're not pointing fingers at the government. We're not pointing fingers at anyone. When you point a finger at someone, 3 fingers are pointed back at you. So our point here is to, is to raise awareness, to have a kind of a behavioral change within the society, within our own people, so that we can, have a better society.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's that's a pretty awesome thing you're doing. I mean, it's always good to raise awareness.
Yeah.
Especially with something like that.
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
watch the video for rape culture also. Very informative at the beginning.
Yep.
So, it just, I mean, things aren't quite that bad here in the States, but I mean, we have our, people that are just as bad, you know what I mean? And it's, they try to raise awareness in different ways here, but it's not just, in your face like what you did. And I think that's a very positive thing you're doing, even though it's such a negative issue.
Yeah. Matt, even with our songwriting also, we decided to take a very straightforward approach in terms of writing down facts and figures. So you'll find facts and figures on our song, on our first single, Rape Culture. The facts and figures are there on child abuse as well. The point here is not to write abstract lyrics, but to write something that's to the core, that's in your face, so that there's no point beating around the bush. Yeah,
right.
These issues need to be addressed, and so the best way to write, is to be upfront and straightforward.
Gotcha. So, like, until I heard you guys and another band, Bloodywood, I had never heard of Indian folk metal, and I think it's amazing. I like how you incorporate traditional instruments, and then you get into the whole metal part of it, and there's clean and unclean lyrics. I mean, people should really check it out, because I mean it's amazing music.
Thank you so much, Matt. Of course, you mentioned Bloodywood. I think there's a big difference between Bloodywood and us, because Bloodywood is from North India. The traditional instruments are way more different than the ones that we use. Hopefully, in upcoming singles, we'll get to showcase some more of our instruments and maybe give a detailed description of how these instruments came to be. That being said, this is the first time that we're using our traditional instruments to fuse with Western music, which so far has not been highly appreciated by the local community, because we're a very tight local community, and we believe that our traditions, our culture should be maintained, should not be changed. Of course, there's one side which feels that we're using our instruments in the wrong way. There's another side, another whole lot group of fans who think that this is a good way to go about it. For us, basically, we just want to tell the world that we've got these songs, we've got our traditional instruments, and we just want to do some good before our time is up.
Okay, yeah, and I mean, I personally loved it. I think that the incorporation of your instruments adds a authenticity to it.
Thanks, man.
And that's it's kind of, you said with Western metal, And Western metal is so traditional, it's guitars, drums,
Yeah, yeah.
front, hard bass, whatever. But when you added in, your traditional instruments, it made that song so much more enjoyable. And like the video was amazing. And where'd you guys shoot the video at?
Uh, so basically, the first video rape culture, we had worked with an Indian director. He helped us through with the ideation and all that, and we shot it here in Shillong. We hired a small little crew called Hills People, so they have all the equipment and all that. But for child abuse, everything from the script to the lyrics to the song was of course composed, written, and was done by Cornelius. I sat down and we wrote down the lyrics together. And so for the production for the video, we tied up with the same lot with a group called the Hills People. They helped us shoot it, helped us with the lightings and stuff. But basically, we're trying to do things on our own right now. And hopefully, the next video we will shoot it ourselves. We will produce it ourselves. And fingers crossed, yeah. Fingers crossed. Two videos have helped us learn so much. So we hope that the knowledge we gain will be able to do justice with our third single.
So how does have you guys been playing any live shows over there, or?
Not as of now, Matt. We won't be taking live gigs till hopefully till around about the end of this year. We want to wrap up all our singles first. We've got about 4 or 5. We've got about the 2 are done. We've got about 6 more to go. 6 more singles to do. So we just want to finish off with all our singles first, and we'll probably start taking gigs by end of this year, by November, December this year.
Okay. And any plans of hitting over here in the U.S.?
Oh, that would be a dream, yeah, Matt. That would really be a dream come true. Hopefully someday, hopefully we, for us, financing is a bit of an issue. Most of
Right.
the guys, most of the bandmates are struggling musicians, and making our our bread and butter is not. For example, I'm a businessman. Cornelius has his own studio. It works out for us. Mason works with me. So Lancaster is yet to get a job. The other members, so we're struggling. The drummer works for the electricity board. So we all kind of have our own kind of little jobs that we do. That helps us sustain our music. To sustain on music alone is very difficult from this part of the country.
Right. I mean, everybody's got to start somewhere, and
Yeah.
I think, with doing interviews like you do, and, your YouTube and your Facebook and social media is so powerful these days that it's almost
True.
the best way for an artist to get themselves out there anymore. Back in the day, we had MTV, there was, you got radio play, whatever. But I mean, radio play is censored, it's mostly mainstream. So, YouTube is just an amazing platform for artists to get themselves heard. And I mean, when Tom presented this to me, I checked out the video for child abuse, and I mean, you guys had released it within hours. You had, over 3,000 views.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's impressive. You're getting it out there, and
I think Matt, for a metal band, I think we're okay with the kind of views we got for child abuse. Then again, had we made a pop song, Matt, I think we would have gone viral overnight. But it is what it is. Metal is a stream which is a little difficult to promote here in our part of the country. Let's hope, like the social media platforms, and with friends like you and friends like Tom, let's hope we can get the message out there.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what I'm all about. I almost every band I talk to is independent. They're not backed up by a label. They're financing everything on their own. And I think anymore, that's kind of, I know it's the hard way to go, but it's also the good way to go, because you don't have somebody telling you, hey, this is what you got to do. This is the music you got to make. This is what you got to sing about. And again, that's where, YouTube just plays such a powerful part, and, also social media, because as soon as I get done with these videos, I edit them and then I put them up on YouTube. I also share them to my Instagram, my Facebook. I have a page called Let's Talk Music that I share it to, and it reaches more and more people.
Yeah.
So
True, very true, Matt. For us, our social media platforms, of course, YouTube has been a really big help, because for a small band like us, it's really not possible for us right now to we don't have that kind of financing to push us up to a level where we can buy tours and where we can buy tours outside and stuff like that. But eventually, hopefully, like we keep pushing on our social media pages, and it seems like it's starting to pay off now. And for us, our main concern is to get our messages outside of India. Like I said earlier, it's very important that the world needs to know what's happening here, and hopefully someday, an organization or some help comes through for these issues that we're talking about. So yeah, so hats off to YouTube, hats off to Insta and Facebook.
yeah, and I'm on your side, man. I hope that you guys, do have an organization that comes in and helps. And I mean, it's a horrible thing for anything like that to happen to a child. And the fact that you're saying, hey, this is what's going on where we're at, is amazing. I mean, it's you're not censored at all by anything, you know what I mean? And that's what's important.
Matt, and see, like I said, there's just too many issues to talk about. So we take one issue at a time, one song at a time. Our upcoming single, again, we'll talk about other things. We'll pick up another issue on that as well, and that's also another issue that really needs to be talked about. We don't want to spill the beans right now, but we're working really hard on it, and hopefully we get to talk to you again regarding that song as well.
So the new upcoming single that you don't want to spill the beans about, can we maybe get a release date?
As of now, no particular release date, but we're looking at a time span of, so we're in the month of June now. Hopefully by first week or second week of August, it should be out.
Awesome. Well, we'll look forward to it. Andreas, I appreciate your time. I see that you're walking around, so I'm gonna let you get about your business. Thank you so much for talking with me, and I look forward to the new single, man.
Sure thing, Matt. And I apologize on behalf of my bandmates. We're all struggling a lot, so some of them are still working. Most of them couldn't make it. We are a group of 6. 2 of our band members stay, almost about a good 60 kilometers away from us. So and the network there is really bad. Electricity is kind of a problem there. So in the internet is a big issue. But well, I hope I've spoken on behalf of the band, and I hope I've done justice. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and tell the guys that weren't able to join that I love the music and keep rocking.
Done, Matt. Done. Take care, man. Thank you again, and a big thank you to Tom as well.
All right. Have a good one.
Okay. See ya.